The architectural historical complex of the National Museum of Ethnography and Natural History was built at the beginning of the 20th century, between the Mihail Kogolnicianu and Alexei Shusev streets and the Maria Chebotar and Svatozeri streets. The museum was founded by the Zemstvo administration on the basis of the items that were donated by the organizers and participants of the agricultural industrial exhibition, organized in Chisinau in the fall of 1889. The leadership of the provincial Zemstvo, which was a local administrative institution, decided to organize a permanent exhibition representing all areas of economic activity in the Bessarabian village household and domestic industry, for which society would become familiar with the best varieties of fruit trees and seeds, with different crafts and the most effective methods of combating agricultural pests. The first headquarters of the museum was in the Zemstvo administration building on Lyova Street, currently Alexei Shusev Street. At the beginning of the 20th century, the space became insufficient for the accumulated exhibits, and Franz Ostermann, the first custodian of the museum, addressed the Zemstvo administration with the proposal to enlarge the museum space. The president of the Zemstvo, Baron Alexandru Stewart, supported this idea, proposing for the construction of the museum a part of the neighborhood. The vacant sector bordered by the Mieszczanskie, now Svatozeri, and Rień, now Mihail Kogolnicianu streets. The museum headquarters was designed by the architect Vladimir Tsiganko. The technical supervision was carried out by the Zemstvo engineer Poluyansky, and the realization of the construction was done under the guidance of Grigory Lavrov. The construction of the museum was finished in 1905. The inauguration of the exhibition took place in June 1906. The museum building was specially built for the permanent agricultural and industrial exhibition. For the creation of large spaces, Islamic architecture was used as a model, inspired by the Maghreb countries, Algeria, Libya, Morocco, Mauritania, and Tunisia, distinct from the local architecture, in order to attract the attention of visitors. The central space is bordered on both sides by a wide pavilion each. The facade of the museum is symmetrical, the entrance with a tall door and 4 large windows, each almost 8 meters tall. Each wing of the building is arranged symmetrically, with 6 large windows on the ground floor and 6 windows in the semi-basement. The central entrance is arranged with a wide stone staircase with 9 steps. Above the door is the open balcony with a decorative stone grille. Entering the museum antechamber, on the left side, there is a space for the sale of tickets, books, and souvenirs, and on the right side is the museographer's working room. The first hall of the museum is equipped with overhead light through a skylight, portion of the roof made of glass, located in the middle of the ceiling of the central hall. The architectural artistic decoration of the interior of the museum is of particular note. Polychrome stained glass windows, inspired by Oriental art, were used. Covering the inside of the skylight and of the central window in the left wing, the perimeter balcony in the middle of the museum and the steps leading to the balcony are fenced with cast iron decorative elements. The interior is embellished with colonnades, decorative pillars. At the edges of the ceiling, stalactites and decorative elements were modeled in the form of moldings, which adorn the upper part of the walls, as well as epigraphic ornaments in the style of Arabic religious inscriptions, nesakh. The plastic decorations of the facades is in the same stylistic key as that of the interiors, polychrome majolica, faience, panels, which outline the component parts. Denticles at the cornice. Denticle, decorative element in the shape of a tooth, used especially for the ornamentation of cornices. Cornice, terminal ornament located at the top edges of a building. The upper part of the windows is horseshoe-shaped. At the opening of the Zemstvo Museum in 1906, the exhibits presented were displayed in 3 compartments: zoology, ceramics and domestic industry, and the third, fruit growing and viticulture. Gradually, the Zemstvo Museum had become the main scientific and cultural center of Bessarabia. After the union of Bessarabia with Romania in 1918, the Zemstvo Museum was considered among the largest museums of the country, under the name of the National Museum of Chisinau. In 1922, a new stage in the development of the museum began, being reorganized into a scientific institution under the name of the National Museum of Natural History. During the Soviet period, the institution was called the State Museum of History and Study of the Land of the Moldavian Soviet Socialist Republic. The socio-political transformations, which took place in the 1990s, created the necessary conditions for the revival of the activity of completing the collections, of research and re-evaluation of the museum heritage. Since 1991, it has been renamed the National Museum of Ethnography and Natural History. Taking into account the importance of ecological issues, since 1994, the permanent exhibition named Nature, Humanity, Culture has been presented. The purpose of this exhibition is to familiarize the visitors with the interaction between the environment and human society. The permanent exhibition is located on 2 levels, ground floor and semi-underground, exhibited in 18 rooms, with an area of 2,000 meters squared. The temporary exhibitions are presented in the space in the mansard of the museum, with an area of 200 meters squared. Within the museum area, a stone wall can also be found, with artistically designed iron grills. Behind the museum is arranged a garden, a monument of landscape architecture.